Hi guys, and welcome to a new Boy Reads World video. Today I'm doing my Booktubeathon TBR, which probably wouldn't mean nothing to someone who isn't on Booktube. And I'm sorry for the quite disheveled look, but I just went for a run. Yeah, I'm quite as surprised as you are. The goal of the Booktubeathon is to read 7 books and complete 7 challenges in 1 week. It starts the 18th of July, I think, and you have 1 week just to complete them. And I guess it's more an incentive of just reading a bit more in that week than really completing those challenges, but you know, I'm game. So challenge number 1 is read a book with yellow on the cover, and I've just went all out on this one, and I've chosen The Bees by Laline Paull. And you know, how much yellow can you get? This is about a worker bee who is born into the lowest class in the hierarchy of the hive and has to do her job, but then slowly works her way up the hive system, I think. I don't know that much about it, but just, you know, reading a book that is completely based on the life of one bee really spoke to me. I'm really looking forward to starting the Booktubeathon with this one. Challenge number 2 is reading a book only after sunset, which is quite a challenge, seeing that the sun only sets here at 10:30 p.m. I think, so I don't know if I'll complete that one, but the one that I've chosen is Wat alleen wij horen by Saskia De Coster, which translates to What Only We Hear. I think this is going to be translated in English this year, so you know, something to look forward to. And this is about the life in an apartment building, and you get the point of views of a lot of people who live in that apartment building. A young couple that lives in one apartment, a recluse that lives in another apartment. Just read about what they all think they hear and what is actually happening in the other apartments. So I found this quite a fitting book for this challenge, because when you live in an apartment building, there are always these noises at night, which are like neighbors running around or a pet scratching something, which you don't really notice during the day. So yeah, although I don't live in an apartment anymore, I think I'm going to recognize some of these things in here. And the third challenge is a book that you have discovered through Booktube. I can't say Booktube anymore. Booktube. Ugh. Then the third challenge is a book that you have discovered through Booktube, and the one that I have chosen is Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. This is a book about the last woman who was convicted to death in Iceland, and she has to stay with a family before her execution. And I think that it is based on true events, but you know, it's fictionalized. And I've heard a lot of people on Booktube really rave about this. Maybe 1 or 2 reviews that weren't so flattering, but you know, the general consensus is that this is a very good book and a very atmospheric description of Iceland. And a friend of mine is in Iceland at the moment, and the pictures that I'm seeing are just breathtaking. So maybe if I read this, I'll be with her for, you know, no, that's just pathetic. But I'll read it. Then challenge number 4 is reading a book by one of your favorite authors, and I had to look through my bookshelves, and the one that spoke to me was Harvard Square by André. I already read Call Me By Your Name by André, and also 8 White Nights, both of which I gave 5 and 4 stars respectively, so you know, favorite author. I don't know much about this one because I picked it up at a book fair because I just saw André Aciman. And I think I just want to go into this blind, because with the 2 previous books that I just mentioned, I read the blurb, but then I found out that the blurb didn't really do it justice, so I'm just going to go into this blind. The only thing I do know that this is about 2 guys who meet in Harvard, I think, and they become friends, but one of them is just an American and the other one is an immigrant, and there's a problem with his immigration papers. So I'm thinking this is going to be some sort of coming of age, moralistic, I don't know, you know, what do you do for your friends kind of book, but you know, going into this blind. Then challenge number 5 has to be a book that is older than you. I'm from 1988, and I chose a book that was published in 1817, so you know, I think it counts. It's the Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. This isn't one of her bigger books, so I thought I'd read this one. And also it takes place in a grand house, which is one of my favorite settings for a novel, especially when they're like 200 years old, so I think this is going to be one of my lighter reads in the readathon. Then the sixth challenge is a book that you have to read and then watch a movie adaptation of, and I've chosen The Dinner by Herman Koch. This is quite famous in the English literature world, I think, but I haven't read it yet, and I know that there's a Dutch movie adaptation of this, so yeah. It seemed to me like the ideal time to read this, and this is about two couples who go to dinner, and the entire book takes place at that dinner, but apparently one of their children has done something wrong, and the whole dinner is going wrong because they don't agree about their children and what they've done. So yeah, that's all I know about this, but I think that it's also been quite popular on Booktube, I think. I'm looking forward to reading this. And then the seventh challenge is just read the book, so it doesn't really have any limitations, and I've chosen Pigeon English by Stephen Kelman. This was shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize in 2011, and this is about an 11-year-old boy from Ghana who is living in England, and he's blissfully unaware of what is happening around him, but as you may guess, this is about immigration and what can go wrong, and finding your place in a country that isn't really, well, that you weren't born in, and trying to make it your home, even though there are people who are very opposed to you making it your home. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to this. I just picked this up on a whim like last year, but yeah, with all the immigration, Brexit, racial turmoil in America, I think this is a good time to read something like this. So yeah, and it's quite short, so that's what we need for the readathon. So those are the 7 books that I'm reading for the Booktubeathon. Please tell me down below if you're participating, and if so, what books that you are reading. I'm really looking forward to participating in this because it's my first readathon ever. Okay. I'm quite curious to see how many I'll finish, and I'm probably going to do a vlog also. So it's gonna be a busy week, but I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, good luck if you're participating, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!